afternoon. Welcome to EFL News, your weekly podcast of health news. I am your host, Erica Candido, and this is my co-host, Lena Liver.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here.
Today we have a very interesting interview taking place.
Yes, we do, Erica. We have Fabian Perez live at the Office of Health Equity, there to interview Dr. Tamu Nolfo.
Hi, thank you, Erica and Lena. I'm here at the Office of Health Equity with the wonderful Dr. Nolfo, the strategic specialist here at the Office of Health Equity. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about what you do here.
Sure. My name is Tamu Nolfo, and I was brought on board to the Office of Health Equity to help create the first strategic plan for the office, which is this document here, Portrait of Promise, the California statewide plan to promote health and mental health equity. And now my role, since it has been launched to the public, is to ensure that we are implementing the plan.
Okay, and then what process or what do you have to do about the implementation?
Well, the thing about the plan is that it's based on our current resources and partnerships that we have within the California Department of Public Health, but it's also very aspirational, which means that there is a lot that we would like to accomplish, but it means that we're going to have more resources and partnerships to do that. So it's about coordinating what we currently have, but it's also making sure that others know what it is that we're doing and want to do so that they can be involved, and it's kind of like making stone soup. So we have folks involved in a lot of different institutions and organizations, universities who essentially want to bring their skills and their expertise, their commitment to this plan, which is fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then what are some troubles? Like, is there anything that you're finding that the public doesn't know, or?
Well, I think that one of the things is a little bit of re-education with the public, because when most people think about health, they think about health care. Right? And so it's true that we need to have good health care. When you're sick, you want to be able to go to the doctor, have a great doctor who speaks your language, who understands your culture, who's really going to get to the root of what's going on with you, right? But quite often, what is at the root of our health problems is much larger than our health care. And so that, it takes a little bit of rethinking what health is. So health is really our body's ability to fight off infection, right, and disease, and we need to be in a pretty good space to make that happen. That means that we don't need to have too much stress in our lives, because our stress is essentially going to wear down our bodies to the point where we can't fight off infection and disease. And what does stress come from? Stress can come from living in a violent community. Stress can come from having to work 3 jobs to pay your bills. You know, stress can come from not being able to get the jobs that you want because you don't have the education that you need in order to get those jobs or those career advances. And so we really have to rethink what we're doing around the conditions in people's lives to get them to a place where they can be healthy. We need to make sure that a lot of that added extra stress is taken off by things like, allowing them to have a good educational experience from the very beginning so that they can get into those career opportunities and to make the kind of money that they need to in order to, have some downtime, in order to have some relaxation, in order, to not always be thinking about, do I have to live in this particular neighborhood that has a lot of crime and violence where I can't even go outside and exercise, although my doctor is telling me that that's what I need to do, or where I can't even go down the street and get healthy fruits and vegetables and whatnot because my neighborhood doesn't even have those things. So in order for us to really think about getting at people being healthy, we need to think more broadly about the kinds of neighborhoods that folks are in, the broader community and society, and what kind of opportunities that they have.
So you mean to tell me that where I'm almost born or live has to do with my health, not just my exercise and diet?
Well, that's actually what we're coming to realize, is that that's the most important thing when it comes to your health, is where you are born, where you grow up, and what kind of conditions there are in that place where you live. And so now when you go to a meeting with local public health officers, they're not just talking about immunizations. I mean, they'll talk about that as well, but primarily they're talking about, are people getting a living wage in the areas where they live? You know, they're primarily talking about, are they able to walk around the neighborhoods where they live? What's the quality and the condition of the schools where they live? So those are actually the things that professionals in the public health field are really concerned about these days.
Wow, that's absolute shock.
Yeah. So like one of our most important alliances that we're making right now is with the Housing and Community Development Department. Because we know that if people don't have safe, affordable housing, they can't really be healthy. So it's kind of a different mind shift in the way that we think about what it is that we need to do in order to promote health.
Would you say that I'm one of the few that's been shocked to hear this, or is this common knowledge?
No, I think I think that when you talk it through with people, they get it. But you have to talk it through with them.
Yeah.
Because we've been so conditioned to really think that it's about what you eat and whether or not you exercise and whether or not you go to the doctor that is really, impacting whether or not you're going to be healthy. And it's not that those things aren't important, but it's that those things take place in this larger context. And that's why it goes back to us needing so many different partners to kind of create the stone soup that I talked about, because you can't be an expert in all of these different areas, but you can have your alliances, your partnerships with the people who know how to do housing, with the people who really understand community planning, with the people who are education experts and are really out there fighting for quality universal preschool and infant care. So you have to have folks that come at it from their different perspectives and their different expertise, and essentially have their spheres of influence who can kind of rally around those issues. But the nice thing is that when it comes down to it, we're all trying to get to the same place. We're all trying to get to this place where people do not have that extra stress on their lives, where they have more choices, where they have more options.
Wow. I'm not sure if I did my job, Erica and Lena, but this looks like it turned into an educational interview, and I hope that is okay. Thanks again for your time, Dr. Nolfo.
Absolutely. Great talking with you, Fabian.
Back at you, EFL News.
Thank you, Fabian. Wow, Lena, that was a very informative interview. What did you think about it?
Yes, it was, Erica. I was pretty shocked at how much I was able to learn from the interview. We sent Fabian down there to interview Dr. Nolfo about the wonderful work her department was able to accomplish in such a short period of time. And instead, we received a valuable lesson on social determinants of health.
We certainly did, Lena. In hindsight, it wasn't such a good idea to send out Fabian since he doesn't have an expertise in health.
That's right. We forget that many people are simply unaware of what affects and determines their health.
That is absolutely true, which is why I believe this show should be focused on helping people understand what the social determinants of health are and why it's so important to know them.
Right, I agree. These factors are things that everybody should know, not just health experts. I think I could speak for both of us when I say that the first step to fixing these inequalities is to start speaking about them.
Definitely. And today I hope our viewers learned something and hopefully are able to start talking about what determinants are for their own health. So thank you for tuning in to EFL News, your weekly podcast of health news. Again, I am your host, Erica Candido.
And I'm Lena Liver.
And stay healthy, Sacramento.